Hey everyone, welcome to Dear BI today. So today we're going to be talking about the Bible. It is a extremely amazing book, but it's actually also a very good data source to test different concepts in Power BI, and that's what we're going to be going through today. I'm actually going to go through a wide range of different technical skills to be able to do this. I'm going to use GitHub repository, so I'm going to pull it down of all the data of the Bible. I'm going to load it into a SQL Server Express database, and then I'm going to use that database to bring that data into a Power BI model and then do some reporting visuals in there. It's not going to be a full-fledged out project, but it's just going to be different concepts that you can get started with. And then maybe down the road, I'll do some more report visuals or better visuals with the data, because I think there's just so many different concepts that you can actually do with Bible data. You can do trends, you can do searches, you can do different types of metrics, like how many words or what ratio of the Bible did an author write, where their geolocations, or like where were the books written, things like that. Just a lot of different concepts that you can try out with data from the Bible. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with creating a database to keep this data. So I just have two scripts. I'm in SQL Server or SSMS. I'm going to go ahead and execute this. If we look over here now, I'm going to refresh this. I should have a second database. Here, my version 2. So after I have that version 2, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use VS Code, and I'm going to clone a repository and bring down that data into, let's see if I have it. I might have to grab it. 1 second while I grab that location. Okay, so clone this, put that here. I'm going to clone my URL, put it here, and I'm going to make that my destination then. Okay, so we can see all of the files here on the left. I can also jump in and see I have all the files here. They're in JSON format. I don't necessarily like working in JSON. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to convert all of that JSON to CSV. Um, I'm not going to go through this script. You can use an AI tool to help you with the conversion of this, but I'm just putting my file location, and then it's going to convert all those JSON to CSV, and it just makes it a little bit easier to get that into my database then. So we can see it made the conversion. I just want to kind of go in here and just make sure everything, yeah, it looks like everything is there. We can see there's 67 line items in there too. So we are good to go there. There's an extra one that says books here. So that's why we see 67 and not the 66 there. So we have that converted. So then my next step is to bring that into my database then. I just have this script here, and that should insert it into the table that I actually created in that database. So if we expand my tables here, we should have one table here. Let's see. Oh, did it not create it? Let's see if I can do this. We'll do here, execute that, refresh this again. And then we have our Bible table there. Doesn't have any data in it yet, and that's what we're going to do next. So I'm going to go into here. This is my script again to insert it into my table. And I'm going to execute this. Now it's processing all those CSV files, and it's going to insert it into my database, into a single table, not into separate tables. I like this. It just makes it a little bit more portable where I don't have to reference tons of tables. I'm just categorizing like the books, the chapters, the verses, and then the text. So it looks like that finished, and we can go in here. I'm going to do a select top 1,000. Now we can kind of see uh, that what type of data I have. I have ID, so I have chapters, verses, and text. I'm gonna maybe do a quick distinct here and just make sure I got what I wanted in here. And we can see we have 66 rows then uh, for the books there. So looking good as I would expect. I'm gonna see, run it all, just see how big this table is. 31,102 rows. So 31,000 verses, just at a quick glance in the Bible, if this worked accurately. I can't confirm if that's how many verses are in there, but um, that is a lot there. So what I have now is a great data source to get started with doing some analytics on this within Power BI or different concepts. But what I can actually do next, I did this before. Here's some metadata on the Bible. Um, it is the granularity of it is at the book, but it tells me the testament. So if it's Old Testament or New Testament, the start year and end year of when that book was potentially written, um, author or authors, if it's known. Also the region. I think this is gonna get cool because then it gets the region of where that book takes place, and then the latitude and longitude of that. And what I like about that is I can actually start building out some like geospatial mapping then with the data. So I'm going to consume this into Power BI as well. Into my database as well. Let me put this in maybe the folder where I was. One second while I do that. Um, Bible metadata. Save that, close it. And then what I will do here is import data. I might have to put that to, nope. I was gonna think I was gonna have to do that into a CSV, but this should work. Let's see. I went too fast. I didn't read that. Okay, like I said, let me see if I can do a flat file. And with that, where is that thing? Okay, I might change this to a CSV. I don't have a driver on my computer that would make that allow me to import the I'll just do B2, close that, and let's try that again. So I'm just doing tasks. Maybe I can just do it. I'll do cancel. Yes. Um, I'm gonna do import there and then flat file source. Pick my source. CSV. Open. Next. 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 Okay, so database. And then I'm gonna look at the mappings in here. Yeah. Next. Okay, so now I should have the metadata on that. Let's see. Cool. So I have like latitude, longitude, the author, start year and end year, testament, and then the books. And this would allow me to create a relationship between my Bible data and I think the book is where I'll probably start that. I might adjust that down the road, but that allows me to start kind of creating some interesting uh, ways to slice the data and filter it. So next, I am going to open up Power BI and we can start consuming this data. Let's get that going here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if I have a connection already. Okay. I have to see what that is. I forgot what I have. Can I copy that? I don't know if I can. Okay, so we'll get connection properties. And then I can do Bible DB v2. And I'm going to dump in my query here. It's good to only like, so if you do have a table and you're writing it, it's good to only bring in the columns that you need. I might get rid of this ID one because it's probably irrelevant with what we're doing. But just kind of calling that, all that does take up space. So if you're not going to be using that column within your reports, get rid of it. It's just going to be kind of a waste of space here. So we'll call, well, I didn't mean to do that. We'll do Bible. We'll name it. Again, this is pretty raw. I'm not going to go into too much here. We'll switch this and get this metadata in there as well. Do new source, SQL Server. Bible DB v2. Okay, so I got my metadata in there too. Dim metadata. I'm a Bible. And let's close and apply. Now we can start looking at this. I'm gonna make maybe just a count measure. So I'm gonna do count rows, fact, Bible. You just have a measure. That's a building block of your visuals or those measures. Just kind of building that in there. Let's see if I need probably my relationships here. I like going the old school. So I do, it already has that pre-defined, it kind of auto-detected that relationship. I was gonna set up one between exactly that, between the book and whatnot. So we can, I'm just gonna do something really quick here. We can start looking at maybe the authors. The author, I'm doing a very simple table here, and the counts. That is the count of verses in the Bible. Um, yeah, so you can see which authors have the most verses. There's just kind of quick information. Um, let's see. Trying to think of ways we can maybe do some visuals. Again, I'm not going to do any full-blown project or report with this. Maybe that will come down the road. This is just kind of seeing how we can explore this data. I'm going to do a table here. So let's see. Let's make a reading tool that's easy to search. I think that would be kind of good. We'll do uh, verse and text maybe here. We'll keep the verse as the number or not summarizing it. Then we can do like a quick filter with the book. Um, we'll do slicer settings, drop down, and do First John. And then I can also do chapters here. So I'm just going to copy this, use it over here, switch this out to chapter, and we can pick the chapter 2. So kind of cool that we can start um, creating a reading tool almost. Um, what I would like to do down the road is do like a side by side where I have one book and chapter over here, and then I have a second one over here, so I can do some like correlation studies with it. That'd be awesome. Awesome there. But then we could also do stuff like, let me bring in another table here. We'll do uh, book, chapter, verse, and text. And then I will not summarize these again. I'm going to get a visual though. That's going to help with this one. It's the text search visual. Um, I like doing topical studies. Um, so we can do text search. Let's see. I thought there was a different one. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, this one. That's what I was looking for. Again, a lot of these concepts, I'm using it with the Bible. It has great data actually to do different concepts within Power BI, but you can do these with, if you're an operations department with phone data and or different things. Like what I'm building here is just a quick search functionality. Um, so we'll do that. We're gonna search through the text. Now, like let's say I want to find verses on baptism. Okay, so now I got all my books and all the verses on baptism. That's really cool. Especially once you're starting to maybe pair this together with what you're reading and you want to see other related verses, I could put that all on the same page, and that makes studying a lot easier. So just kind of different concepts there. Um, One I really wanted to try out is the geospatial. Is it geospatial? The map. I think this is going to be kind of cool here. So in that metadata, we brought in some of um, the map information here. So let's do latitude, longitude, and then here I'm gonna upgrade there. Now we start seeing our regions of of these books. Let's see. Uh, Legend, we'll do region. And then I'm gonna just do a quick filter of my book maybe. I'm gonna switch this to tiles, and we can kind of see the different regions the books were in. Um, I think that's really cool, where you can get a sense if you're doing kind of an overarching study, you can look at a book, you can start drilling into the regions and things like that. One thing I don't have on here, but uh, the journeys of different people that were made. For example, Peter in the book of Acts travels or Paul travels. You could do some sequential ordering of the different cities they were in and kind of click through them and kind of follow them on a map. That'd be really kind of cool to see. Those are some additional things that we could do there. But again, using an amazing book to kind of understand some data, different technical skills with data. We did Python, we used a GitHub repository, and a SQL Server Express to kind of consume all that data. A lot of good stuff there. So I think this is the end of today's Dear BI. I hope you liked it, but if you want to see more, follow along. Have a great day, everybody.